So when I first got to Colorado Springs, I worked here for 2 years, and I went back to graduate school. And I was gone for 3 years, and then I came back to Colorado Springs and worked another 7 years for the city and was manager of land development. And at that point, after reviewing everybody else's plans for the city for the last 7 years, I felt like it was my time to go out and try being a consultant. And I knew all the people in Colorado Springs, people in the city, the developers at that point. So it was my timing was good. The city was starting to grow back in 1978. So I just went from there.
There's so many projects we worked together on. Stratton Preserve and Cedar Heights and Mountain Shadows.
Mountain Shadows was the very first project that I did. At the time I did the master plan on Mountain Shadows, it was 2,000 acres. And it was a very interesting piece of property. I used to take my kids back then on Saturdays and go out and walk the property, and that's where I did all my hiking, and that's where I learned the property and so on. About the same time I started working on Briargate. And Briargate was extremely unique at the time because it was 10,000 acres. There's very few pieces of ground near an urban center that's 10,000 acres. So being able to do a master plan on 10,000 acres next to an urban setting was a big job, and I was fairly young at that time, but I learned a lot. I got to present that project to the National Home Builders Association in Las Vegas, and it was quite a project, and I worked on it for about 30 years. Beyond that, University Park, Flying Horse, all the work for the Broadmoor for the last 35 years, and then numerous other smaller projects and projects for the city.
One of the most significant projects we've done with NES has been Flying Horse. And Flying Horse was originally not in the city, so we had to amend the city comprehensive plan, the city utility plan, the city boundary.
Classic Homes has been a great client of ours for a number of years.
Our relationship with NES started in approximately 1995. Classic Homes has been in business about 30 years this year, and at the time we were about a 6-year-old company and got into land development, and we took on a very controversial project called University Park, and Nolan was our primary point of contact originally. So our relationship with NES goes back to Nolan Schreiner, and we've worked with all the principals since.
They're professional. They understand the processes in doing a planning job for somebody. They know how to work with not only the public but also with officials, be it city or county. They know the ways in which to approach a problem and know what has to be done to resolve any issues that there might be to bring everything to fruition and make a successful project. And they've demonstrated that for many years.
They set the standard for land planning and landscape architecture in Colorado Springs. And I think that legacy continues, and it's been on through the people that I've mentioned. We have worked primarily with Nolan, with John, with Tim, with Andrea, some with Chris, but they are the gold standard in Colorado Springs.
You know what, this would be a good time to congratulate them, but even more importantly to thank them for doing an excellent job for us. To be successful in any business requires a lot of cooperation and working with people who know the process and are good at what they do.
You know, I think about the way Nolan has shaped our community in such a great way over the past many years, and I think about John Maynard and Tim Seibert and those other folks that have been in leadership positions, and again, a big shoes to fill certainly, but it's an amazing opportunity. We look forward to continuing to build on all of that, and again, continue to have a presence that makes a difference in our community.
Thank you for this tremendous opportunity that you've presented, because NES has been so successful over the last 40 years. It's again the legacy that Chris and I can continue moving forward with NES and hopefully making it a great company for the next 40 years.
Most importantly, I want to thank them for all they've done for the last 40 years for us and for our community and for all those who they've served, and I want to congratulate them. There aren't a whole lot of organizations that can speak to 40 years of success as have they, and it doesn't happen by accident. So congratulations to all, and thanks to everybody for a job extremely well done.